Welcome to episode 2 of Talk with Carrie. This is your daily-ish talk show here, and I am so excited because I got this hit this morning about something that I wanted to share with you, and that's all around kind of creative ways to connect with your clients. And it's not anything icky or sleazy or slimy, and it's nothing like brand new, like the bots that you can use to message people in Facebook or anything overly complicated. So I think you're really going to enjoy this episode. And if you're joining me live, I would absolutely love for you to say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from. And of course, if you're watching the replay, I want to hear from you too. So leave me a comment. So just in case this might be the first time that you're catching me live, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Carrie Shepard. I'm a business... I wish I could cut that out, but you can't do that with live video. Oy. Anyhow, I'm a business and sales strategist for online entrepreneurs, and I'm really passionate about helping my clients attract more of their ideal clients and feel confident in converting those people into sales and ultimately serving them at their highest level. I love helping my clients set up systems and structures and sales funnels and all that fun stuff so that they really can live a big life. And big life to me means giving back in big ways, through generosity, through serving, both with your time, giving back with your resources that you are bringing in from your abundant business. So that's a little bit about what I'm about. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about how you can start connecting with more of your ideal clients, more of the clients that you really want to be working with. I'm working on a training for my inner circle that I'm going to be giving tomorrow, and it's all about working in your zone of genius. And I absolutely love thinking about that because if you haven't already read the book, The Big Leap, I highly recommend that. That's a book I recommend to all my clients, and it's one that I read over and over and over again because it's a great reminder. And what Gay Hendricks talks about in this book is there's 4 zones, and I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but the zone that you want to be in is your zone of genius, and that's doing what you are most talented at, what you're gifted at, and then combining that with your purpose. I think about this as your mission or the reason that you were put on this earth. What is that special thing that only you can do? And so when you are able to combine those two things, you're working in your zone of genius. And that's where you become really what I call like client attractive. People really can see the joy in you. They can really feel your energy. One of the things I love to do is get on video. I feel really comfortable on video, and I love connecting with my community. I love answering questions and bringing you, hopefully, a combination of education and inspiration. Now, it wasn't always like that. But what I did have at the core of it was this desire to serve. And so that's my zone of genius, right? My zone of genius is when I can serve people. And so figuring out other ways to do that is what's really important in my business. And so I was talking with the client, and we were thinking about ways that she could kind of change things up, shift the energy in her business, and start kind of attracting clients from another pool. Because the thing is, if we keep doing the same thing over and over again and we're expecting different results, that's called insanity. So if you keep emailing to the same email list over and over again, the same offer, and nobody's taking you up on it, then you're insane. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. All I'm saying is you've got to shift the energy. And so whether that's changing your message, whether that's shifting how you connect with your community, or it's a combination, most likely. It's about building your community. That's one of the things that you should be focused on a daily basis. How are you finding, or how are you making yourself available to attract new people into your circle? And then number 2, you need to be connecting with those people. So once you bring them into your fold, don't just leave them high and dry. There was something that connected them to you. Maybe it was an amazing freebie you were giving. Maybe it was an amazing offer. Maybe somebody recommended you or referred you. But if you don't ever connect with them, if you don't send them emails, if you don't do live videos, if you don't post amazing content, then you're doing them a disservice. And so you, first of all, have got to build something into your business where you're connecting on a regular basis with the community you have. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter if you have 5 people, 500, 5,000, or 50,000. You need to set this up in your schedule. And so whether that's you're going to email them once a week or twice a week or every single day, whatever that is, start the consistency now, so that when you get flooded with all those amazing, people into your circle, you're ready for it. And then the other thing is, and I talk a lot about this, and specifically live video, why aren't you getting on live video? Why aren't you connecting and sharing that video and driving Facebook ads to that and allowing more people to consume your content and get to know you? That's the coolest thing about live video is I can't edit this. I flubbed up my intro earlier, and that's just what it is. And I'm not going to scrap this video. I'm not going to delete it. I'm not going to start over. This is the real deal. I'm sitting here at my desk working away, and I'm like, oh, it's time to do my live video today. I made this commitment. I want to be coming on video more often. And so I created a daily-ish talk show called Talk with Carrie. And you guys are here, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful when people show up and actually watch, listen, or consume the content I put out there, because then I know I need to do it more often. So let's get back to the main point of this video, and that's talking to you about how you can find other ways to connect with your clients. So obviously there's all the traditional, which I love traditional. So talk a lot about, offering free offers. So whether that be a free webinar, a free training, a free video series, an amazing PDF, an amazing check sheet. What are some other ones that we can do? So some sort of free gift, right? And then you're either sharing that organically, maybe in Facebook groups, or, you're asking people to share it with their community, or you're running Facebook ads, or you're running Instagram ads, or some sort of paid traffic. Right? So that's a great way to get in front of new people. It's a great way to target and know exactly who you want to get in front of. And you're kind of borrowing other people's audiences when you do that targeting. Another great one is an interview series, otherwise known as maybe like a telesummit or a summit or a video series, something like that. Those are amazing. And I've done all of these, and some work better than others. And some, depending on the season you're in, depending on your energy, depending on your time, your budget, your creativity, you might have to figure out which one's going to work best for you. But there's a couple that I don't see a lot of people doing. And I will tell you kind of inside secret for my business is these are a couple of things that I didn't do until later in my business. And I really wished that I would have started it sooner, but it's kind of that catch-22, right? It's like, do you start it when you first get started, or do you have to build some traction and get your name out there and really kind of what I call step into that zone of genius, really step into your expertise. And so a couple of those ways are getting on podcasts. So podcasts are absolutely incredible. And this is something that I started doing end of last year, is really focusing on getting interviewed on podcasts. Now, you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to actually go pitch yourself to get on certain podcasts. But this is a great way to align yourself with another expert and get yourself in front of their audience. And so you might want to, if you don't already listen to podcasts, think about other podcasts that your ideal clients would be hanging out on. There's tons of business podcasts. And so what I did is there was a couple experts in the industry that I really respected. And so not only did I look to see if they had a podcast, I also searched on iTunes to see what podcast they were interviewed on. So that's a little pro tip there. So say you really like, Marie Forleo. We'll just use her as an example. I don't think she does very many podcasts, but say you really like her, your audience is going to be similar to her audience. Then what I would do is I would go onto iTunes, I would type her name in the search bar, and it's going to pull up all the different podcasts that she's been interviewed on. Now you can take a look through those, and depending on where you're at in your business, you can now pitch yourself to those podcasts. And the great part about that is that person who runs that podcast is going to be advertising that episode out. And hopefully it's a podcast that gets a lot of traction. Now that was something that I did for quite a while before I ended up launching my own podcast, which is also a great way to connect with influencers, because now you're reaching out to influencers and you're saying, hey, let me interview you and I'm going to share you with my audience. But inevitably, they're going to want to share it with their audience as well, because it's a great way for their audience to get to know, like, and trust them. Now, you might be saying, well, I'm not really that great, or that doesn't really interest me, or, whatever might be running through your head. Another great way to do this is guest posting. Now, for me, I wasn't so interested in that. So I can't necessarily tell you that's something that I've done in my business. However, many of my clients have done it, and it's worked really well for them to build their community, to build their audience, and to build their influence, because it's something now that you can put on your website. You can share with your audience. You can, run Facebook ads too, and it elevates you to an expert level. So what I really want to leave you with today is that there are many different ways to attract your ideal clients, to build your community, and to give value to the community that you have currently. And again, it doesn't matter if it's 5 people, 500, or 50,000. We're always looking to build our community. We want to bring in new people, but we also want to serve the people that are in our community. And so trying to figure out different ways that you can do that now without spreading yourself super thin and while still staying in your zone of genius. So for you, if that's all about, really just creating great content, great blog posts that you're then running ads to, or maybe you create some amazing joint venture relationships and you're partnering with influencers. Maybe you have a great like affiliate program, and that's how you're going to get your message and your programs and your products out there. All I want you to do is to expand your mind and understand that there's more than one way to build your business. There's more than one way to get your message and your mission out into the world. Be creative, be open to opportunities, be open to thinking about outside the box, and to really just focus on serving and generosity. And when you're able to do that, the doors are going to start flying open for you because you're focused on serving other people. And obviously when you're doing these things, you're building your list, you're building your community, which is in turn going to build your income and your impact, most importantly. So that's what I want to bring to you today on Talk with Carrie. I would love, love, love to answer any questions that you have. So feel free to drop them in the chat box below, and I'll come back later this afternoon to connect with you. If you liked this video and you want to share it out, I would deeply appreciate you hitting that share button. And make sure to tune back tomorrow for another episode of Talk with Carrie. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.